Alright, welcome back, Fishaholics. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And we just got the kayak in the water here on the Indian River. And this is like my third or fourth time launching from this spot to fish this area. And I've done okay here, still kind of trying to explore around and figure this area out. And from a good friend of mine, I actually got clued in that to the north of us, there's a possibility to catch some bonefish this time of year, which is pretty cool to know. So I'll probably launch here another day to try and just specifically target them. But today I want to get out and just try and catch some bait and then swim that bait for hopefully some big snook or jack crevalle and or maybe some tarpon. And before we head out there, I just want to show you a cool new toy that was sent out to me by Sword. And it's a really sweet fillet knife with a really comfortable handle and grip, and they sent this to me quite a ways back, but being that I traveled to Brazil and then came back and was only in town for a couple days and then flew out to Montauk and then came back here, and now finally after editing all the Montauk videos, I have some time to get out and you know, film in my home waters now. And I'm not really trying to go out to catch anything to eat, but if we still happen to get a snapper or anything, we'll dice them up with this new fillet knife and test it out. So yeah, I'm just gonna get out there and make a day of it. I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, stay tuned. I'll see you guys out on the water. All right, so right now it's the very end of the outgoing tide, and there probably is only like 30 or 40 minutes, an hour left, and I'm judging that based off of how shallow this flat is. You know, it's not even submerged anymore. So I'm hoping I can catch bait in this area real quick and then ride the rest of the tide out a little bit further to where I want to primarily fish. And I want to get out there before this tide turns around and starts coming in. Otherwise, it's going to make it a lot more challenging for us to get on this spot. So to start, let's just fill up this bin with some water. So as soon as I get some bait, I could toss them in here, turn the bubbler on, and keep them nice and alive and fresh. All right, that should be good to start. Now I'm going to unravel this cast net and get it ready to toss. Oh, just spotted, I think like a medium-sized barracuda sitting right in the shallows here. Not seeing much of any bait right here. There could be a bunch of mojaras, but sometimes they're hard to see. They really know how to blend into the bottom. It's so shallow, I might as well just get out of the kayak and try walking on this flat. Oh, got something decent on that toss. Oh, look at that. Look at that Mahara. That's gonna be gold for a monster snook. If I can get like 6 or 7 like this, we'll be in business. Oh, I got a lot of baits in that toss. Look at all them. Mix of pinfish and mojaras. Oh, We found the money right here. Oh, let's hurry up and get back to the kayak to put them in the well. Look at that Mahara. Whew. We might actually have a great day today if we can just get the right bites and keep them on the hook. All right, well, I think we're good on bait. So I'm just gonna wrap up the net just like that. And we're gonna hop in and head south on the Indian River to our first spot and our first area. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna set up first, but hopefully wherever we set up first, there's a bunch of hungry fish. And we still got a little bit of outgoing water, believe it or not. And we've been here now trying to catch bait for at least an hour or so. So I'm hoping by the time we get to the area, right when we get there, it'll be slack, and then it'll turn around and start coming in and bring in a lot of fresh and slightly cooler water. Like this water right now must be close to 90. It's extremely hot. But yeah, let's get a move on, see if we can catch some fish. All right, well, we made it to this first spot that I'm gonna try, and we actually made it here right around slack water, so we don't have a whole lot of current, but I'm gonna still try hooking on a bait with this little 4/0 circle hook. Got an egg sinker that will slide up and down the leader, and I've got a barrel swivel connecting to my braid and my leader. And I've never fished this exact spot in the kayak, actually. I've only fished here a few times by boat, and you know, I've done okay, but I'm hoping today will be the day that maybe we'll get a real nice fish out of here. I'm basically anchored right on the edge of where St. Lucie inlet meets the Indian River. And I think this should be a perfect spot to just hang out for a couple hours and see what happens. Once the tide switches and starts coming in, maybe we'll get a lot of fish right here that will come in with the tide. Oh, just got 8. I think I did. Oh, there's a snook right there. Finally. That took some time because we had to wait for the incoming current. Oh, quick release. And look at all these weeds floating through. It's made it real difficult to effectively fish. And I actually started, if you noticed, keeping the rod tip under the water to prevent the weeds from piling up and sliding down the line to the hook. So let's retie, because that little snook frayed us up a little bit, and we'll get back down there. In case I forgot to mention, I'm using 50-pound fluorocarbon, and my main line is 20-pound braid. And I'll put all the links for everything I'm using today down in the description. All right, let's get another bait. Oh yeah, that's a winner. So I like to hook these Maharas in one nostril and out the other, right on the nose like that. Oh, just got thumped hard. There we go. Nice fish. Yeah. This might be what we want here. Oh, I thought he was actually going to be a little bigger. It is what we want, but just maybe like a 27-inch fish. I was hoping for something like 30 plus. There we go, hook right in the corner of the mouth. That's a nice chunky one. And down she goes. Oh, he's getting nervous, he's getting nervous, he's getting nervous, he's getting nervous. Come on, come on. Something's looking at him. Oh yeah, just got 8. There he is. Oh, fish on. Ah, real little guy. All right, let's try it again. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know the main reason I decided to fish this spot specifically today is because the reverse on my Mirage drive isn't working, it's damaged. So I couldn't really fish effectively on some of the structure back towards where we launched, because I needed that reverse in case if we hook a big fish, I want to be able to pedal backwards to pull the fish out. So I figured we'd kind of take the lazy route today and just anchor in this spot and just wait for the right time of the tide and hope that some fish would end up here. And fortunately enough, there's some fish here, so we're catching them. And on the way back I might hit some other structure, but with an artificial once we run out of this bait. But I also threw some little crabs that I caught and some smaller little maharas in the well, so we could also on the way back maybe go for a sheep's head or a snapper. So we've got some other options too. All right, well, this current's really starting to rip, so I'm gonna switch up my rigging and use a heavier weight. So with my next rig, I've got, I believe this like 2 or 3 ounce egg sinker mounted on the 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. I basically went through and over the top and then back through again. And I'm just gonna tie this tag end to the barrel swivel here. I'm gonna try a pinfish this time. All right, there we go. Pinfish are pretty hardy, so this guy should be on the hook for quite some time until we get a big bite on it. All right, well, since I started fishing with this rigging here, I've stopped getting bites. So I'm gonna try the bigger mahara now, because I might go back to the other rigging that was working with the smaller baits, but I don't think the other rigging will work with a bigger mahara like this. So I'd rather drop down with the heavier weight with this guy, and then we'll switch back. Look at that. All right, well, unfortunately, nothing on the bigger bait, and we tried fishing with that for about like 30 minutes at first, and then since we didn't have any bites, I switched back to some of the smaller baits we had, and I fished through most of them. I only have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 like really small ones now, so like the medium-sized ones we fished through and still didn't get any other bites. Then I went back to the bigger bait because it was still alive, and I just fished him until he died, and no bites. So what I want to do now is I think re-rig up with just a straight fluorocarbon leader tied direct to the braid, and I'm gonna tie on a Rapala that I've got up in the bow here. Yes, mullet patterned Rapala. That looks pretty good. And I'm gonna work up along shore, kind of back towards the Indian River, and then I might dunk some of the little maharas that I have left and some of the crabs around some hard structure for snapper once we get like a lot closer towards to the launch. All right, let's see if there's any fish along here. I'm just gonna let the current and wind push me all the way back to the Indian River basically. And let me show you my reverse drive. Like, I'll put it in reverse, and well, it's working a little now, but it wasn't working that great the last time I was out. Yeah, now it's not shifting back into forward right. That's why I didn't want to put it in reverse. Now reverse is working and forward's not. Go figure. Well, I guess I'll just leave it in reverse in case I hook a big fish near one of these docks. How could there not be a big fish right here? Man, something's not right. Oh, look at that. This fin here is locked in reverse. Dang. It looks like the string that is supposed to flip it back around snapped or finally met its limit. Yeah, that's why I did not want to put the drive in reverse today, and I did just now, and I might have to paddle back to the launch. All right, I'm just gonna take off this one fin, and I'm gonna try and see if we can get back with just the one. I've had to do it before and it's not really that effective, but we've got a little bit of forward motion now, so I think we'll be able to fish our way back still. There's a fish. Just a little jet crevalle. All right, nothing else on the Rapala. We took like another few dozen casts. So what I want to do now is just try tying on a a little jig head that I'm gonna try dropping the crabs down with, and also the little like really tiny maharas, and see if I can get a snapper or two or a sheep's head. So this should be interesting. Just got 8. Oh no. Fish on. Oh, looks like a snapper. Booyah. Look at that. That's definitely a keeper mangrove. Just on a little mahara on a jig head. I'm just gonna bleed this guy quick, and then I'm gonna fillet him on the kayak for you, because I've got my little foldable filleting board. Perfect. Let's fillet this guy up. Oh yeah. This knife is razor sharp. And nowadays, usually most knives are that you first buy right out of the box. They're razor sharp. But it's going to be interesting to see how long this blade stays sharp before I have to start sharpening it, and if it will, you know, hold a sharp blade when I sharpen it. Like there's some knives that you buy like, and right out of the box they're razor sharp, but then after that it's hard to keep them sharp again. I'll keep that in case we get checked at the launch. Oh, look at that beautiful fillet. This would be a perfect little dinner for tonight. Or, well, maybe I should say appetizer. I'll probably make like a side of pasta or something, because there's probably not a whole lot of calories in this little snapper. Alright, gonna rinse the fillets. Throw them in a baggie. Alright, well the fish is in the box and we are heading in. It's gonna take a lot longer to head in, being that we're only on one fin. And yeah, I gotta get this drive fixed, or I may just buy a new one, because this one's pretty old and it has suffered a lot of abuse, and this is actually the second spine on this drive. So like there's a bunch of different parts that come together to create the Mirage drive, and I already replaced like the spine of it, which is like the heart of the drive, I think like 2 years ago, and haven't had a problem since. But yeah, this past like week and a half, I've been noticing something was fishy with the drive. So that's just the way it goes when you fish day in and day out in the kayak. Like this whole rig has seen a lot of abuse. But for tomorrow, maybe I'll just hit the surf or go out on the Fishaholic rig and switch things up and try and do something different. So stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more stuff like this. And also, if you already are subscribed, just hit that little bell button so you know when I post future videos. And I guess that's about it. I'm gonna head home, eat up cook up that snapper, and have it for dinner or an appetizer or whatever. I'm just gonna eat it, and it's gonna taste really good. And I will see you guys in the next video.